I've been an iPhone user since the 4S, but I really love this phone. I've been using the new Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus for a few days now, and I love it, but there are a few things that were hard to get used to. The Note line is definitely known for having bigger phones, and this is the Note 10 Plus, so it's a little bit extra big, but they're for the power user. So someone that likes a lot of battery that they can fit in. You've also got a bigger screen, so if you're big on streaming, this is definitely for you. It also has just the hole punch camera that you can see, and I found that it was really easy to forget about it in a good way. So you get a lot more visual screen rather than having the notch break things up, and it works out a lot better for something where you want an edge-to-edge kind of screen experience. It does have 3 buttons. You've got the power button and you've got the volume button. The only other sort of buttons are at the bottom. They're these virtual buttons that'll take you back or to home. And the fact that they are on the bottom makes it really easy to navigate. I don't have the biggest hands, so I really like that they were in a pretty easily accessible spot, and it definitely makes it easier than swiping around the whole screen. On the bottom, you have no headphone jack. You just have the charger and the speakers and the S Pen, which is something that they've really highlighted with the new Galaxy Note 10. On the back, you have 4 different cameras, which also blend into the phone really easily. I really like using them. So there are a lot of features packed into the Note 10 Plus. One of my favorites is this Edge panel. So you can bring up different apps and you can actually change whatever app. So if you really like using Google Maps because you're always getting lost like I am, you can add that. You can add Messenger, you can do what you want. I also like having the weather. It makes it really accessible. You don't have to go through a bunch of menus to find it. For most of your other features, you can get them through the drop-down menu. And this has your basic airplane mode, but it also has night mode, power saving mode, but it also has the power off button, which you can change, but when you first use the phone, if you try and press and hold the power button, it actually launches Bixby, which is just really not that intuitive. I really don't want to have to search to figure out how to turn my phone off. Another thing I really love about this phone are the camera capabilities. So you've got your standard selfie camera in the front with 10 megapixels. You turn over, you have your back camera with 12 megapixels, but it's also got things like a telephoto lens, wide angle lens, and an ultra wide angle lens. So all of these features make it really easy to have more freedom when you're taking pictures. You can do a little bit more and get a really great shot. For video features, you've got some cool stabilizing techniques. So if you're running, if you're biking and you want to take a video, it will really stabilize it so you don't get so much of a shaky camera kind of effect if you don't want that. The only problem is that it can sometimes make your video a little blurry and the image quality can get lost, but it's still a really great feature to have. You've also got some really nice blurring bokeh effects for your videos. You can also use on photo, but you can actually slide them so you can decide how much bokeh you want, which is good because if you set that bar too high, it looks really bad, honestly, and it looks very unnatural, but you can really tweak it and get the setting that you want. Some of my favorite features of the phone include its battery life. Honestly, when I was out and at 10% and it lasted me the rest of the night, I fell in love with this phone. You can also change the battery settings. So they've got multiple battery optimization options. And if you put it on the highest battery saving one, it really strips out all of the parts of your phone, but you can still text people and have access to your phone so that it doesn't die. I also really loved bringing out the S Pen for selfies. So when taking a group selfie and no one could really get everyone in the shot and manage to take a picture, being able to just pull out the pen and press the button on it and take the photo really made everyone's night, and we were able to get like the exact selfie that we wanted. I also love playing games on my phone, but it's really annoying when you get notifications right as you're in the middle of something. With the game booster, you can really tweak your settings so you can turn notifications off really easily. You can also, monitor the temperature, and it keeps your phone as cool as possible. You can really make sure that all of your settings are in line to either save your battery a little more or to make sure you get the best graphics and performance possible. And the game booster is really easy to use. Once you're in your gaming app, it's right there and you can press it to launch all of those settings. I'm a really big fan of the note-taking on the new Galaxy Note 10. What I love the most is that you can start writing even while the phone is locked. You just pull the S Pen out and start jotting something down, and it automatically launches your note-taking without having to unlock it to find your Notes app. And once you do that, it's saved. You can then convert your handwritten notes into text. And I've written some really quick, sloppy things down, and it's really good at reading them actually and converting them properly. And once they're converted, you can also search your notes. You can upload them to Docs and Word, and it makes it really easy to turn just jotting a simple note down into something that's really handy later on. As much as I love using this phone, I do think there are some things that Samsung could do a little bit better. The first of which is the facial recognition. So for example, if I put on my glasses, the phone wouldn't recognize that it was still me. Whereas, for example, with Apple's Face ID, I could wear sunglasses, glasses, and it'll still unlock and register it is still in fact my face. And while I like the S Pen for its note-taking, I found that a lot of the gestures that come with it just aren't that useful. They are not that intuitive. You really have to kind of practice and get the hang of them. And that just doesn't make me want to use them more. And I just didn't really feel like there were a lot of cases where I was close enough to my phone to be able to see it and look at it, but so far away that I was using a gesture instead of just swiping. The use case just wasn't really there for me. Now it is open for developers to, incorporate them in their apps, but as of right now, it doesn't seem like there's a lot of reason to use it. Lastly, I really like that the screen is edge to edge, but it also makes it easy to press something right at the edge of the screen with your palm or with your hand, because it's a big phone and it makes it really annoying to use, whereas most of the time it's a really nice phone and it's really smooth. But when that starts to happen often, it gets really annoying. So that was the new Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. It starts at $1099, or you can get the regular 10 for $949. The biggest differences are the screen. The Plus is 6.8 inches, the 10 is 6.3. For storage, you can get 256 gigabytes for both, or you can get 512 for the Plus, and you also have the option to add on more with the Plus. It has 12 gigs of RAM compared to 8 with the regular 10. It has a bigger battery as well, and you have the depth vision camera.